Okay, the universe is a mirror. So first I looked at how Carl Jung defines projection, because a lot of his work is about projection. And the holographic universe, which is also a projection. We project the energy onto the field at the borders so then we can see it. So how does this work exactly? Okay, so Carl Jung said projection means an unconscious inner content is experienced as if it exists out there in the external world. Well, how that works, and a prime example I always use is selfishness. When I see selfishness inside of someone else, that is my soul showing me the selfishness inside of my own heart, inside of my own soul. And that's why the universe is a mirror as a constant feedback loop for self-improvement. It provides a constant feedback loop for self-improvement, the universe. So I can constantly see, where am I beautiful and where am I ugly? I used to attract players into my life, including like Andrew Tate and Justin Waller, his best friend. Why? Because I had wounds. I had a rape wound. I had a wound that I'm replaceable, a ton of all other insecurities, and I attracted those men into my life to show me myself so I can improve. Okay. And so a holographic principle says the information that determines what appears inside a region is encoded at the boundary. Again, a projection to the boundary, a projection to the quantum field. Let's scroll down and see what more we can learn. And so here's the bridge, like the deep structural patterns and the similarities between Carl Jung's psychology and the holographic, the physics. Inner content feels external. Our external reality is a reflection of our internal reality. The universe is a mirror. The way I say that in physics, we attract what we are through energetic resonance, meaning a vibrational match. If you have two tuning forks and one is tuned to 520 and one is tuned to 440, when the 520 moves, the 440 doesn't even notice. When we get a 440 next to a 440, that moves, it notices. So it notices the same so we can see ourselves. So when I'm out in public and I notice, when I perceive selfishness outside of me, that is my soul showing me the selfishness inside of myself. When something is true, it's true in multiple places. And when something is true, it breeds both in wisdom and in knowledge. Because it's born of the same truth that we live in a holographic universe. Saying that in wisdom, the universe is a mirror. So let's keep going. Projection as a psychological hologram. This is Carl Jung. Jung would say that the psyche behaves holographically. Archetypes, like savior complex, like I used to have, goes along with Mary Magdalene, are not inside the ego. They are not outside in objects. They exist in a psychoid field that expresses itself through both. And the psychoid field, I would say, that's our energy body, our soul, right? So when someone says she is powerful, they are evil, that group is dangerous. An archetypal pattern, which is like a savior complex, is active, and its boundary conditions are unconscious, meaning that I'm unconscious that I'm projecting part of my subconscious externally and then holding someone else accountable to it. Like if you look at The View all day long, that show on ABC, they're selfish, they're fatphobe, they're transphobe. They're just pointing out their own problems in their subconscious that they're unaware of and trying to cover it up by pointing it out in other people. I mean, look at like the Salem witch trials. All they wanted you to do was admit that you're wrong. If you're wrong, then you can live. But if you can't admit that you're wrong, then you can't live. Okay, let's keep going. Why projection feels so convincing. In a hologram, every part contains the whole. The image looks solid and external. The projection is stable until conditions change. Okay? But Jung said, one does not see what is, but what one is. Okay? There's a what is out. There's a tree outside in a house, but how I interact with that tree. Do I take care of that tree or do I chop it down? All depends on my own energy field, on my own soul.